Welcome to our few moments together on the Parsha. I'm standing outside in an area known as Ruti Baram Boulevard, which stretches approximately a quarter of a mile in each direction. It's a beautiful boulevard with trees, stone sculptures, and an area of beautiful gardens in between two large tracts of land which have apartment houses on each side, here in the Arnona section of Yerushalayim Chodesh. If I have a chance by the end of the video, I'll see if I can't move the camera about a bit so you get a perspective of how beautiful this area is. One of the reasons why I wanted to take the video over here is because in the Parsha it says, Ve'ei anochi nosein lefnechem hayom bracha uklala. Behold, I'm putting before you this day bracha, blessing, and curse. Esa bracha, the bracha asher tishmeu, that you will listen, the esa klala, and the curse im lo sishmeu, if you will not listen. Now, you might hear some noise in the background, but that's birds chirping and just general calm and quiet in this area. Look how beautiful the blessing is of being in Yerushalayim. It's filled with luscious color, the sweet sounds of birds, the wind gently blowing here on Thursday afternoon before Erev Shabbos, and it's a bracha. And of course, the Patik Arav, the Beis Aharon, asks an interesting question on the pasuk. It says, "Re'ei anochi nosein lefnechem hayom bracha uklala." Behold, I have placed before you this day blessing and curse. Es habracha asher tishmeu, ve'es haklala im lo tishmeu. Ask the Patik Arav, why couldn't it have said, Re'ei anochi nosein lefnechem hayom bracha asher tishmeu uklala im lo sishmeu? Why divide it into two separate psukim? And along comes the Patik Arav and so beautifully explains every single thing in this world, bracha and klala, have an opportunity to be viewed in a positive or negative way. Es bracha, it will be considered a bracha asher tishmeu. What's the bracha? The bracha is, if you listen, you will see bracha in everything. There's a klala, and the curse, im lo sishmeu, if you don't listen. And he gives an example. Let's take wealth or poverty. Wealth, asher tishmeu, if you listen, wealth becomes a great blessing. It's an opportunity for sharing your wealth with others, to give tzedakah, to give to yeshivos, to uphold a base knesses, to help organizations that give help to others. On the other hand, if you have a lot of wealth, it could be, God forbid, like it says in V'hoyim Shemoah, V'yachalta v'savata, Hishamru lachem, pen yifta levavchem. You will eat and you will be satisfied, but that's when you have to be careful, because the wealth can lead you astray. A person could say, Kochi va'otzem yadi, os ali es achayel azeh, and make a terrible mistake with wealth. The same thing goes for poverty. Poverty, someone can look at it and say, it's a curse. I've been cursed by the Borei Olam. He doesn't allow me to live. I have to scrounge for every penny. And others will look at poverty and say, Yibbono Shel Olam, you've given me a challenge of poverty, but I'm rich because you've also given me the Torah. And despite my poverty, and we know that from the poverty sometimes arises the greatest of the leaders of the Jewish people. How poor was Hillel that he had to go on top of the roof, and he couldn't even afford the few cents it took to come into the Beis Medrash. And yet, out of this poverty, gave us Hillel, the base Hillel, Rabbi Akiva, whose father-in-law wouldn't give him a penny, and he had to go and learn without a penny. His wife used to live on straw, as the Gemara tells us. But the poverty didn't deter him. Instead, it spurred him to tshuva, to tefillah, to coming closer to Hashem. And so, it's Ve'eyanochi nosin lefnechem hayom. This Chodesh Elul. Bracha uklala. The blessing and the curse. Esa bracha. You know when it's going to be a bracha? Asher tishma'u. When you listen. Esa klala. The curse, God forbid, if you don't listen. Let me take you for a spin a bit. With the camera, I'll move it gently and see the bracha over here. Look at this beautiful bracha of this particular area. You can I'm turning the camera as slow as I can just to give you an idea of the depth of this beautiful promenade going so far around this way and then coming back and going around this way. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area. And this can all be looked at as the greatest bracha, the greatest blessing. You know when? Asher tishma'u, that we listen to the words of Hashem. But this can also be a terrible curse if a person says, look at this beauty, I love it, I'm so blessed. I don't have to thank God, it's all natural. It's all by itself. I don't owe anything to the Borei Olam HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that could be a curse. And so when it comes Chodesh Elul, we're faced with this dilemma. The dilemma of making the choice of all the wealth we have, all the good we have, all the blessings we have, despite the fact that everyone has challenges and everyone faces difficulties. Nevertheless, what if I count my brachos and I say Asher Tishma'u, that I'm going to listen? Everything becomes a pure out-and-out bracha, a blessing. But God forbid, if someone only looks at life negatively, if they rue the day they were born, God forbid, or hate the circumstances they're in, and blame everyone else, and don't take responsibility, and instead don't recognize the good that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them, oh, how terrible. Even the greatest blessing in the world becomes a curse for them, because it's imlo sishma'u. And that is what the Pater Rava explains for us. It is beautiful, beautiful lead-in to Parshas Re'eh, Shabbos Mevorach, Shabbos HaChodesh, Chodesh Elul, this week. I'm so sorry I'm not with you there, but I'm so happy I am here, and I ask Hashem that we should be blessed. We should all be joining together in this beautiful, beautiful setting where we look at it as the greatest bracha on earth, that Klal Yisrael has returned to Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh. I want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom, a Chodesh Tov, and we can start and say a true Ksiva v'chasima tova lanu u'lechol Yisrael. Amen. All the best. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov u'mevorach.